The Sylacauga Aggies joins us this morning. A tough loss at the hands of the Leeds Green Wave last Friday night. And Coach, good morning. I guess a tale of two halves, wasn't it?
That's right. Good morning to you, Jimmy Dale and Sylacauga. It was. I mean, we came out. We were fresh. They were fresh, and we gave them a lot of trouble and looked good. I was really pleased with the first half play. Excluding a block punt, we had played pretty well. A few errors here or there, but I was extremely pleased with our play in the first half, and then it looked in the second half, no doubt, fatigue set in, and we had some issues with cramps, and the opportunity of getting some young kids in wasn't at the time against a good Leeds team that eventually took over in the fourth quarter, and while we were fatigued and moving kids in and out, really took advantage of that.
Malik Pope busted a big one early on in the football game. You expect a lot of that from him this year.
That's right. I mean, he's got a natural eraser. You miss a block, and he can still take care of that guy for you. He's pretty elusive out in space and got good speed. He had two good runs of 60-plus yards and ended up, I think, the game with close to 200 yards and two touchdowns. But he had a good game. And
you, with numbers like that, offensively, you expect to win a lot of games like that.
That's right. We had over, I can't remember exactly passing right now, but Bryson Edwards did a good job throwing, and every receiver had a catch and attempts at other catches. And, it really came down to, like I said, we watch the film. It's never as good as it seems when you win and never as bad when you lose. But it was fatigue. We saw it at halftime that kids were just, you can't get it. It's hard to get it back. And I don't know whether it was advantage of them getting to start a week earlier and play the game because they did not have spring football. But I'm sure it played into a lot because you usually get better from game one to game two. They had a game one with that exhibition game the week before. They had a lot of issues that we had from block punts, so they had fixed it. They had some cramps, and that's the, hoping for a second game, and unfortunately we're not going to have our second game due to some reasons, but our kids came back ready to work Monday.
Let's talk about you're at halftime, you've got the lead, you feel pretty good, but can you see it in their eyes?
Absolutely. Yes, sir. We know our kids, and, as a coaching staff, we'll meet before we go in, to talk to the kids at halftime for any adjustments. And I said, guys, they're tired. They're fatigued. There's no doubt about it. And it's early. And
were you surprised?
Yeah, I was. I mean, they can run for days. We came back out Monday and Tuesday and ran them. Not one kid stopped. And we ran them, a lot of 40s and a lot of other stuff. And they were not exhausted by any means. They kept on going until we stopped running, and I was really surprised. But that first game we weren't on even ground because they had played a three-quarter game against the Helena team, and they had learned. Your body learns throughout the season how to, prepare, and they had that advantage. So,
did you try to adjust at halftime, knowing what you knew then with a second half to play?
Yeah, we did. I mean, we said, hey, we got to get a lot of kids in, try to rotate, keep some fresh. So you had some youth going into some areas, and we're young up front. And the big guys are hard to, once they're fatigued, it's tough to get one of those guys without an IV or like the colleges do to get any energy back to them. But, we saw some signs, some young kids got some action, but fortunately against a Leeds team that is highly ranked and well-deserving, right there they wore us out in the fourth quarter up front by running the football.
Knowing that your team is tired and knowing that, mentally they're probably tired too because they've been leaned on and all night long. How do you try to shift things to where, hey, we got to get through this. We still got a chance to win the football game.
Right. I mean, you're looking for some big plays that can change some momentum, change some feeling. You're right. Fatigue, it's not just your muscles, it's your mind. Your brain, tends to go with that over what your responsibility is, and that's part of it. It's tough. You play by play. You got a young kid in there, you may have to tell him what to do every play, and that don't always work. it is. I mean, it's fine if you're playing a team that is not as good as you, but when you're playing a team that is as good as you and are, like I said, really good, you can't. You know, you just got to do your best.
Yeah. Sylacauga losing to Leeds at over in St. Clair County, 40-20, and you led at halftime, and the score really is not indicative of the game itself, though.
Right, it's still a score. I mean, there's no doubt about it. We feel it just as much as anybody does when you see 40-20. But like you said, like we told the kids, you know, when you were fresh and they were fresh, they couldn't hardly do anything offensively. They had one big play there, and we were pretty much in control of the football game. And, you know, and that's a great learning tool. So you play 10 games or going into the region, these pre-games before you get there to, you know, let them see. You play a good team because it doesn't do you any good if you play a team much worse than you and you're able to do anything even wrong and win. So I'm extremely proud of the kids coming back this week, working hard, having the mind ready for, you know, what we thought Friday night, a Lincoln game, and unfortunately we're not able to play that, so we'll get ready for Clay Central. Before
we get to next week's game, it's got to be frustrating to know your kids are tired and to know that they're still out there putting everything on the line, and you really can't do anything about it.
That's right. I mean, like I said, though, it's part of it, and I've coached many of these games. It's happened some years it doesn't. It really doesn't have anything to do with the running before. It's just, I really believe the biggest advantage was those guys had a week longer than we did in pads, and that preseason game they were allowed to do it. And you're going to see a lot of schools quit doing spring football in order to have that advantage. So.
Yeah. Week 2, originally to be the home opener for the Aggies against the Lincoln Golden Bears, but a few days ago, Lincoln had some issues with COVID affecting their team, and so that game has been canceled. It is a win for the Aggies.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, that you hate not to put it out on the field and make either team earn it. You know, that's my thought. But I understand coaches, concern and also the spread of it if they've got it in their team. Fortunately, we have not. I hope we continue to do those things right and keep our kids healthy. I hope their kids get back healthy. You hate it because what you had worked on to fix, from game 1 to game 2, you're not able to see until, now it'll be game 3.
So what do you do this week?
We practice. We practice. So we were fortunate to know early enough that maybe we could look at some Clay Central stuff they did last year. Yesterday we went out briefly with the starters. We'll go hard today. We went with the B team yesterday. They've taken kind of a back seat, been more of a scout team type look. So I said, hey, we're keeping them. They're going to scrimmage. We're going to evaluate those guys, give a lot more attention to the younger kids because that is our future. And not just have them pushed around by the varsity group. And we had a good time. I think those kids did too. So
you talked about Leeds having a week under their belt. Well, you've got an extra week to prepare for a team that is one of the top teams in Class 5A. It is a need-to-win game for Sylacauga.
Yeah, it is. I want to win them all. Absolutely. It gives you an extra week. We got to do it right, though. Not saying it's not a week off, and kids' minds are right. They're prepared. We'll watch plenty of film on them. We'll get game 1, and they played right down the road, Benjamin Russell, Friday night. So we can really see an eye test, up close, go down and watch that game and, just get the kids ready to play. Just keep them, hydrated all week and ready to go. I think we got a good chance against them.
Region games early in the season are really important because everything counts now for sure.
That's right. We go into Clay Central, it determines how we end up in the playoff possibilities and where you are region status. You play home or away or those sort of things. Is it do or die? No, but we want to win the game, and I'm sure Danny Horn wants to win the game, and I look forward to playing him. He's just a legend, and it's always great to play him.
We're talking with Coach Rob Carter, the head football coach at Sylacauga. The Aggies coming off a tough loss to Leeds Friday night, a win by forfeit with Lincoln not being able to play due to COVID issues. And so with Sylacauga, with an extra week to work, I know it's early in the season. What did you see coming out of the Leeds game that encourages you about the future of this Aggie football team this season?
Well, I think you see the first half. We were pretty able to throw, run, stay. I was really, really pleased with my passing game as much as I was the run game part. And I think we saw some kids that came in that we need to put a lot more focus in and give us a rest. Mm-hmm. Some kids that had to play. That they've showed that they can get some reps in the game to give some breathers to the starter and maybe see some more significant time. But we've got to fix our punt game, our kicking game. We had a block punt that was to me a cheap score, but it's you love get those when you're on the side that gets them. We fixed that part of our kicking game and we'll continue to work on blocking and tackling.
And these are things you work on every week at practice.
Oh, yeah, every day. Yeah. And you got under the, like I said, it was late in the second quarter when they blocked it. We were a little tired up front. Mm-hmm. Some of those guys were going both ways, and they just missed a block here or there, and snap was a little bit off, and they took advantage of it. So.
All right. Appreciate you being with us this morning, and good luck against Central Clay County, the Volunteers. That is a road game over in Clay County. That will be a week from tomorrow night. And we'll be talking with Coach Carter again next week as we continue with the High School Coaches Corner, brought to you by Stop and Shop Auto Sales. More Daybreak after this.